Toronto excites me for so many reasons. It wasn't until I moved away that I realized how good we have here. Toronto is a city that's in constant change. It's hard to see that in my day-to-day life because I live and breathe this change every day. But when I take a step back and I look at some of the neighborhoods where I started my career, it's night and day. Immigration is changing the fabric of every corner of this city. And I think as the city embraces less car ownership, we're going to see more car lanes dedicated to bike lanes and better streetscape designs where pedestrians can interact with each other more like we see in Europe. And that's already happening. What about laneway homes? Only a few years ago, the city allowed laneway homes, and garden suites are going to be next. Urban infill is going to be a very common sight as well. Little changes like these every year add up to become big change.
So Ray was great. We actually had another real estate agent prior to Ray, but we found Ray to be very, let's say aggressive in terms of finding out the details that you want, supplying you with information that you need, and actually supplying with you a lot of time with information that you think you didn't need. When you're looking at a house, you tend to look at it with rose-colored glasses. So you walk into a house, you love everything you see, and you're not able to see all the things that might be bad or might be deficient with the house. So Ray is able to give you that third-person critical review or critical response about what you might have to deal with should you purchase a house like this. So it's not saying what you want to hear just so you buy a house, but letting you know, hey, be careful about A, B, C when you purchase a place like this.
I feel more like a teacher than I do a realtor, to be honest. I don't see my job as just selling homes to clients. Instead, I educate them on what homeownership really entails and the work that's required to maintain it. I educate them on how to build wealth through real estate because a lot of average people have become millionaires through real estate, and most people just need some guidance to get started. Sometimes I'll be working with someone who spent their entire life in an apartment or condo, and now they're trying to buy their first home. Or maybe someone who grew up in a relatively new home who wants to move to a 100-year-old home downtown. Construction standards have changed so much over the years that if you're not aware of what improvements or upgrades to be looking out for, you could be in for a very tough winter. Fortunately, I educate from experience. If you want to buy a new home from the builder, I've personally done that. If you want to buy a home almost 100 years old and renovate, I've done that too. Something in between like a home from the 70s, well, that's what I currently live in. And what about buying a power sale from the bank? I've personally represented several banks in these sales. So having gone through the process personally, I'm able to guide people who are going through it for the first time a lot better.
I definitely learned a lot from Raymond throughout the process. I honestly had no clue what I was getting into when me and my dad kind of floated the idea of buying a condo. So we started out with base knowledge, and Raymond had to fill us in on everything from the different types of building, the differences between old buildings and new buildings, the condo board, the different expenses that come with a condo in terms of utilities and condo fees and all that kind of stuff.
When I'm not working, I like to stay busy. You really won't find me sitting around the house. I like to think I'm handy. I've done my share of renovations. I find it therapeutic when I work with my hands. Once a year I head off on a big trip somewhere new to recharge. I take a lot of pride in my real estate photography. Have you seen my latest listing?
I would definitely recommend Ray, and we actually have recommended Ray to a couple of our friends just because of the great work he did for us. We knew that our friends would also benefit from his amazing work as a real estate agent. And he actually has sold houses to my friends, and they've had nothing but praise for him as well.